No banks, no fees, no inflation. These are the potential perks of this thing called Bitcoin.
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 Bitcoins.
Bitcoin.
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 Bitcoin is better than currency.
There's a big industry around Bitcoin. You know, people have made fortunes out of Bitcoin.
I own Bitcoin in my hedge fund. I own Bitcoin in my fund. I own Bitcoin in my private account. It is a huge deal. You're talking about trillions of dollars up for grabs. Up for grabs, right? And it's just about trying something.
If you're watching this video, there's a good chance you didn't get started with Bitcoin the first time you heard about it. Maybe you weren't as lucky as Eric Finman, a high school dropout who got started with only $1,000. By the time he was 19, he'd made millions with Bitcoin. Or Eddie Zillen, who was a cryptocurrency millionaire at 18. Or Kingsley Advani, who was able to make over 7 figures in just 6 months. And while more success stories continue to make headlines, you may be wondering, is it too late? Did I miss the Bitcoin boom? Well, there's some good news and some bad news. The good news is it's not too late. The bad news is if you wait much longer, you may have missed your chance. And here's why. In January 2019, market analysts and experts predicted that Bitcoin would reach over $23,000 by the end of the year. That's more than 5 times its current value. And it's why nearly 80% of individual investors remain long-term invested in Bitcoin. Even the former chief equity strategist for JP Morgan said that he thinks 2019 is a great year for Bitcoin. But chances are, if you're like most people, you don't really understand how Bitcoin works and how people actually make money with it. Well, if you stick around until the end of this short video, I'm going to show you everything you need to know about Bitcoin and why now is the best time to get started. You'll learn how people just like you, all around the world, are getting paid in Bitcoin. We'll show you how to come out on top, whether Bitcoin's daily value is going up or down, and you'll discover the fastest, easiest way to take advantage of this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But first, a word of warning before we get started. This video that you're watching contains information that could radically change your bank account, your life, and your future. Nothing will be held back. All I ask in return is that you give this video your full attention. So close out any other tabs you've got open, silence your phone, and get rid of any other distractions that may pop up over the next few minutes. Sound good? Let's get into it. In 2009, the U.S. was trying to recover from one of the worst economic crashes it had faced in decades. Trust in government, banks, and corporations was at an all-time low, and for good reasons. CEOs and corporate fat cats who had committed fraud and theft at unprecedented levels were not only getting away scot-free, they were getting paid. Big time. Executives at failed banks were receiving millions in salaries and bonuses. And seemingly overnight, hardworking citizens had their savings completely wiped out, lost their jobs, and had no hope for the future. The gap between the haves and have-nots was widening, and the middle class was on life support. It seemed like this was going to be a very long road to recovery. But there was one good thing that came out of all of this. A new technology that allowed individuals to be in control of their finances, with no bank, no company, and no government needed. This revolutionary new technology that would go on to change the fate of millions was called Bitcoin. And since its inception less than 10 years ago, it's grown faster in value than any currency in the world. To put that in perspective, if you owned $10 worth of Bitcoin at the end of 2009, that same $10 would be worth more than $47 million at the time of this recording. Pretty crazy. Bitcoin is the world's first digital currency that is not controlled by any governments or backed by central banks. They're digital coins that you can use to make purchases with, send to family and friends, or withdraw for cash. You can use Bitcoin to pay for a new car, an online order, or to simply pay back your friend for a slice of pizza. For the first time ever, you can send digital money to anyone in the world with no bank account required. This may not seem like a big deal, but when you realize there are over 1 billion people around the world that don't have a bank account, but they do have mobile phones, the potential is huge. Bitcoin is fast, easy to use, extremely secure, and on top of all that, it's completely anonymous and impossible to counterfeit. Bitcoin is only getting better, and as I'm sure you can see by now, it's here to stay. If you can send an email, you can use Bitcoin. Here's how it works. You open an account with a site like Coinbase, deposit money using a credit card or bank transfer, and within minutes, you've got Bitcoin. This Bitcoin is stored securely in your online wallet and is yours to spend as you please. But do you know what's even better than spending Bitcoin? Getting paid in Bitcoin. Up until very recently, it was impossible to get paid online without being at the mercy of credit card processors or sites like PayPal. Look around the internet, and you'll find stories of indefinite account holds, PayPal refusing to release funds, or credit card processors closing accounts overnight, all with no explanation. This industry was ready for a new way to send and receive money online. Advancements in technology and the continued widespread adoption of digital currencies has now made it possible for business owners and individuals to get paid in Bitcoin and have access to those funds within minutes. No more waiting for PayPal to deposit funds in your bank account or waiting for credit card processors to approve the transaction. No more account holds or closures. No more ridiculous third-party fees or chargebacks. Now, all of this sounds great, but what if you don't have a business? What if you don't have an extra $10,000 laying around to invest in Bitcoin? Or what if you have dreams of starting your own online business, but you're just getting started? Well, in just a minute, you'll learn how everyday people, just like you, can start getting paid in Bitcoin today. No advanced skills necessary or large investment required.